Committee. Congressman, I appreciate your time. So President Trump says this luxury jet from the Qatari royal family, the reported price tag, as I said, about $400 million, is a, quote, gift free of charge. And they're pushing ahead. No pushback from the attorney general, who, of course, had formerly been paid up reportedly $115,000 a month to lobby for the country of Qatar. So are there any strings attached to this?
Well, undoubtedly there are, but it doesn't make any difference because the Constitution forbids the president from accepting any present emolument, office, or title of any kind, whatever the Constitution says, from a king, prince, or foreign state without the consent of Congress. So he's got to come to Congress first. I've been getting a barrage of emails from right-wingers today saying, well, what about the Statue of Liberty? We took the Statue of Liberty, after there was a joint congressional resolution directing President Grant to accept it. He signed that on his last day in office, and that it ended up President Cleveland taking it, and it was embodied in statute. You got to go to Congress in order to accept a gift from a foreign government, which is what this is. And obviously, there's all kinds of national security complications because it's a government giving us this airplane, and there's all kinds of foreign policy implications. So Congress has got to debate it.
So let me ask you, I want to talk to you about that part, whether you have the votes. But first, when you mentioned the national security concerns, Jeff Zeleny just mentioned the 171 miles of wiring and the implication that, I'll just use the analogy, the Trojan horse analogy, right? To make sure that there aren't who knows what kinds of bugs in the era we live in, that it would have to essentially be completely taken apart and reassembled. So your total cost of the plane would be what? Could be $1 billion. What are the national security risks that you are most specifically worried about?
Well, apparently the Secret Service was very worried about, bugs and espionage and surveillance, naturally. Obviously, Qatar is very close to Saudi Arabia, and there's no reason Saudi Arabia wouldn't love to have a window into everything going on that airplane. So that's been raised by the government itself. But, of course, the concern of the framers was that you would get a president like Donald Trump. Donald Trump doesn't know a lot about the founding, but the founders knew a lot about him and his type, and they were afraid that you'd get someone as president who'd be willing essentially to sell the interests of the country out to specific foreign governments who would do business with him. And so there are a million foreign policy questions where we could be compromised by this.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would seem it's not something that should come from anyone, friend or foe. But obviously, Ben Shapiro making the point, right? Qatar sits in the middle, right? Iran, Hamas, the Taliban, of course, all of that. It also close to Qatar. So I'm curious, though, when you get to what the Congress can do as a whole, okay, and where right now Senate Democrats, they're trying to force a vote, but. When you say it has to go to Congress, let's just say it did, would it fail? I mean, this seems to be a case of right and wrong, but that's not necessarily what we're going to get from Republicans.
Well, see, and that's the whole thing. The way that Article 1, Section 9 is designed is that it goes to Congress because there's just a multiplicity of foreign policy questions and domestic policy and public integrity questions folded into it. And we've got to look at all that stuff. We shouldn't just be debating on TV. We should be investigating it in Congress. How much will it cost to retrofit the plane? What are the kinds of bugs that could be put onto that plane? What's the history of Qatar's involvement with other people in the Trump administration and so on? We've got to look at that. Can we do it? Sure. All we need is another 3 or 4 Republicans to come with the Democrats to say, let's do our constitutional duty. We cannot let them get away with just trampling the emoluments clause because it's not just these airplanes. We have to look at the whole crypto question, too. The Trump family has been making more than $1 billion a month since the new administration started. And that's like the Trump Hotel on steroids. The money is just being funneled in through the presidential meme coin.
All right. Thank you very much, Congressman. I always appreciate your time. I'll note one of those crypto deals, of course, the New York Times is reporting worth $2 billion. That was in Dubai. Steve Witkoff's son also part of that. So also on the list of countries the president's visiting this week. Ryan Goodman is with us now, Outfront legal analyst, and Ben Smith, Semaphore editor-in-chief, host of the Mixed Signals podcast. So, Ben, you've got extensive reporting on this luxury jet from the Qatari royal family that, we understand could be worth $400 million, maybe